Today, we do something super dumb, but I wanted to do it, so we're doing it. I found a list of little-known 16-bit era video games that came out in North America, but hardly anybody remembers or has anything to do with. They just don't remember these games. So what I'm going to do is I took 10 of these, and I'm going to read these 10 and see how close my on-the-spot description matches what the video game was about. And I know hardly anything about these games, and I've separated the list so that I've unspoilered myself on the actual descriptions of what these video games were. So all I have to go on is just like guesswork based on the title, and then we'll see how I did. It's a little bit of a self-afflicted contest, if you will. Okay? Okay. Here we go. Let's start with the game called Socket. All right, Socket is a little guy, a platformer running around, but he's got 3 prongs on his head, like the US style plug for the power plug in the wall. You know what I'm saying? So he's running around going, I'm Socket, and I got to get it power. So every once in a while, he starts getting real low on energy and he's got to find a socket in the wall real bad so he can recharge. All right, here's the description. Socket, a fast-paced Genesis platformer starring an electric duck who races through time-themed zones, borrowing heavily from Sonic speed mechanics. All right, didn't even come close there on Socket. Although I should have taken the names Sonic and Socket and seen that they were trying to do a little there, Here's the next one, Run Saber. All right, another platformer. Guys running through these zones, cyberpunk futuristic zones with a you can't call it a lightsaber, you get sued. So it's like a laser sword, slicing up robots and not taking any names, just tearing it up. Okay, here's the description. A side-scrolling SNES action game similar to Strider where cybernetic warriors battle an evil corporation on futuristic Earth. I think I got pretty damn close on that one. Next up, Dino City. Oh boy. All right. It's a whole city. And guess, that twist is it's full of dinosaurs. Oh shit. What are we going to do with these dinosaurs? They're taking over. And your job is to try to topple the top brass, which includes a Tyrannosaurus Rex and 2 tinier dinosaurs. I don't know. Let's see how we did. SNES action platformer loosely based on a live action movie where kids ride dinosaurs to fight cavemen. I have no reference for that. I don't know what that is, and I don't know what that movie is. Moving on. Musya. M-U-S-Y-A. Musya. All right. I'll bet that's a side, scroll 'em, shoot 'em up. Little ship, bunch of stuff to shoot. You're going left to right. Boss fights, tons of bullets, bullet hell kind of style thing. Those were big then and still are, and that just sounds like one of those. Probably made in Japan for all I know. All right, let's see how we did. Ah, crap. A dark horror-themed Japanese-style side-scroller for the SNES where a spear-wielding warrior battles demons in haunted landscapes. Damn it. Not even close. All right. Next up, Arcus Odyssey. All right, we got a little guy. His name is Arcus. And this is also a platformer because that's all anyone made back then. And Arcus is from the town of Boobaloo, and his family was killed by a giant stingray. What are you going to do? Well, Arcus goes out on his own to get revenge. All right, let's see how we did. That's so wrong. An isometric action RPG from Wolf Team on Genesis and Super Nintendo, offering co-op play and multiple character classes. More like a Zelda game. Damn it. Burning Force. That one's familiar. I might be thinking of Shining Force. Burning Force. It's about a guy. Let's say he's a man, and he's got the power of the fire. Like he's Human Torchy, right? So he can shoot fire out of his hands, and the sun recharges him. So in the dark areas or like the worst levels where you can't see the sunlight, you have to really conserve your energy. It's something like that. Burning Force. Let's see how we did. Namco's pseudo 3D shooter for Genesis featuring a jet bike that transforms into a jet for sky combat. All right, see how we do with number 7. So far, I'm kind of whiffing it. Zero, the Kamikaze squirrel. I kind of remember this. Fast-paced platforming thing with the squirrel moving left to right, doing Sonic and Mario stuff. That's the best I got. It says it's a spinoff from Arrow the Acrobat. A ninja squirrel uses throwing stars and gliding attacks in side-scrolling stages. You know what? I'm going to give myself that. 1 out of 8. Okay, you can give me that one. Number 9, Mazen Saga. Mutant Fighter. Okay. 2D fighting game. On the one side, you got the Mazen clan looking all ready to, it's all fisticuffs. And on the other side, you have some kind of demon lord clan. And they come to an ultimate fighting championship to decide who's gonna run Bartertown. All right, let's see what we get. Hybrid Genesis game combining beat 'em up and one-on-one boss battles with mech-sized enemies. Yeah, I can't. I wasn't even close on that. And finally, for our 10 here, we have Troubleshooter. All right, this is about a top-down isometric view. A guy named Terrence P. Trouble is a office. He works in IT, and he goes into the big office building, and it's full of just, business people doing business things. And one of them's like, my spreadsheet won't load, and he has to run over there and boop, 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 beep, beep, and do some troubleshooting. And his goal is to have the most efficient building full of companies and people that possible. So they're all counting on him for Troubleshooter. All right, let's see how we did. Troubleshooter, Genesis Shooter. Oh, it does. Of course, there should be some shooting. What was I thinking? Genesis Shooter, where you control 2 female mercenaries flying with jetpacks in tandem. Well, shit. That's not even close. You know what? Come back again for more of this nonsense. I have 10 more of these that I haven't done yet. I'll do them in a different video. You can only try. There's a lot of games out there, and who knows what's under the hood and behind the plastic. Behind the plastic. Next week on this episode of Behind the Plastic, find out why your copy of Diablo 1 for the PlayStation 1 smelled funny. All right, now this word from our messages or our sponsors.